Hi, I'm Chris Kenton, and this week we're in San Jose at the Marketing Thought Conference hosted by the Silicon Valley AMA. I've just watched Andy Sernovitz give a presentation on word-of-mouth marketing. Andy is CEO Emeritus of the Word-of-Mouth Marketing Association and is now president of a consultancy called Gas Pedal. Andy has long been at the forefront of the word-of-mouth trend, and in fact, he's just written a book called Word-of-Mouth Marketing. So let's see what Andy can tell us about word-of-mouth and its impact on the practice of marketing.
Word-of-mouth marketing is this really simple idea. If you give people a reason to talk about your stuff and make it easier for the conversation to take place, they're going to talk about you. People love to talk about products, hair and hair care products and restaurants and food and computers. And when you do stuff that's good and remarkable and you earn their respect and you make them like you and you get them excited, happy customers love to advertise for you for free. And it's as simple as that. It used to be, if you wanted to reach 80% of the population, you called your ad agency and you bought a big ad on 3 big networks and it was done. And it was expensive, but it was easy. What's interesting now is that regular people have taken over the conversation. We don't just listen to Consumer Reports or Roger Ebert or the professional reviewers, but we love to listen to people like us. So the lesson for marketers is you better hope those regular people like you and they're happy with your stuff and they're thrilled with what you do. What your brand is the sum total of all those touch points about how customers feel when they open your product, when they talk to your people, when they go to your store, when they look at your website. And so if you want a great brand, you have to have a great user experience. Companies that make people happy will thrive. Companies that piss people off are going to die. And it's harsh, but it's also simple. A lot of word of mouth is about love. That when we're in love, we talk like giddy teenagers. It's just, this is a great new pair of shoes and I want to tell everybody, I want to show my friends, and the sweater is phenomenal, and I love this computer, and whatever. When you inspire love in a product, it causes word of mouth to happen. If people don't love you enough to talk about you, if you don't have that specialness that generates word of mouth, you've got to pay magazines to talk about you by buying ads. That if you're not exciting enough to put on TV, you pay TV stations to run your ads. And what this means is that advertising is the price of being boring. And when you're boring, nobody wants to talk about you, and it's expensive. You don't see ads for Whole Foods, but your newspaper is full of these giant inserts for traditional stores. So you got 2 choices. You make people really happy, and they advertise for you for free, and they bring in their friends, and they talk you up, and they make everybody love you. Or you disappoint customers, or you're just average, or you make them angry, and you have to buy boatloads of advertising hoping to keep up. From a competitive position, it doesn't work. You know, marketing is this huge chunk of the balance sheet. So if you're going to have to keep paying people to talk about you in the form of advertising, you're at a massive disadvantage to a company that is interesting and fun and worth talking about. If you're a company, this is how you get started. You start asking the question, would anyone tell a friend about this? So you ask this in your advertising. Would anyone tell a friend about this ad? Would anyone tear it out of a magazine? You ask this about your products. Would anybody tell a friend about this product? And if not, send it back to development. Because if it's not worth talking about, you're going to have to advertise it. The tell a friend test, the word of mouth test, is really telling you, is your stuff any good? And it sets an inspirational goal for a whole company. It's one question to the whole company that pushes people to be just a little bit more interesting. And the cool thing is, when anyone talk about this, also says, is this interesting or is this fun? So when you start asking that question and setting that out as your challenge, you make your job more fun. You make your products more fun, and you make your life more interesting. So it comes down to this idea that being remarkable, which is an interesting word, which says you can remark on it, you can say something, you can spread word of mouth. Being remarkable equals profit. Being worth talking about equals profit. And this is what's going to define the winners and the losers.